How are we? Hello, lads. Hello, ladies. Welcome back to League One Live. It's December the 28th. It's Thursday, apparently. I don't know what day it is. Losing track of, time over this Christmas period. But we are here tonight to review the Christmas, period, the Boxing Day games, as well as looking ahead of tomorrow night's games, 12 more games in Sky Bet League One to bite our teeth into. Some big games at the top and bottom over the festive period. But we're not alone. To join me is Jake from Channel 72 and a journalist, I believe now. Jake, how you, mate?
I'm good, mate. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. As you might be able to tell, I had a nice, lovely present bought for me. You can see that's levitating over here that my girlfriend bought me. But no, mate, it's good. I'm looking forward to talking to you about League One because I know you're in such an happy mood to talk about Fleetwood. So yes, I'm excited about it. I hope you had a good Christmas. I hope you enjoyed Boxing Day. I know you didn't lose, so that's something for you to look at. But no, yeah, I'm
like a loss. I'm fuming coming away from it. By the way, do you have a girlfriend? By the way, you don't seem to mention.
Have you,
that.
Ben?
No. Anyway, 3 days until the important transfer window in FTFC's brief history. Hoping the club back. Lee Johnson is 801. Start, please. There's a few technical issues, wasn't there, Jake? There was 2 Jake Tongs in the chat. One's bad enough, put it that way. Never mind 2. Christ. Wanderers are back. There's no negativity about Derby. Look, there's been no negativity from me. Him, not me. Nappers and Jake, hello Dylan, you right, mate? But next 3 games are must win if you want to come top of the tree at the end of the season. Hope you're ready for Bolton tomorrow.
You need to be, mate. They're good.
In wait. I know a good start at Cheltenham. Stunned Shrewsbury. I don't think they did stun Shrewsbury. I think Cheltenham are a better side than Shrewsbury, but it's just my opinion. Hello, Luca. Hello, mate. Again, should we get on with it? Good Christmas, mate. Boxing Day, not so good.
Yeah, Christmas is great. Spent it with Sophie, my dad. Went to my dad's. Went to my mum's. All the normal festive arguments that you have sat around the dinner table. They all popped back up. It was great. But yeah, no, I've got some lovely presents. I know you have, Ben. You've got a lovely sweatshirt that I'm sure you've worn yet.
Not yet, actually. Not yet. I'm saving it.
Oh, I wore your hoodie to the Bolton game.
I did see. I tell you what, right? I didn't notice that. My mum went, "Oh, I think Jake wore your hoodie to the Bolton game." Well, did he? He goes, "Yeah." I looked at it under his hoodie. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "Hey, what?" I went, "So he's not bought any luck." Then now that you can tell it's come from me, Fleetwood to Lincoln, lost in the last minute. In fact, it was a Fleetwood thing ever to do so. Shall we get into it? We'll start off with the early kickoff. Leyton Orient 1, Charlton 0. This game felt like an absolute age ago. However, it was the early kickoff on Boxing Day. And tell you what, there's a few not so good, feelings around Charlton. And this is what happens with Michael Appleton. When it goes well, it's all rosy and he's the best thing since sliced bread. And he's quite negative when it goes. He didn't look like scoring, says Michael Appleton, Leyton Orient. They did score. They won 1-0. Again, their 4th home win of the season. That's 2 wins in 3 for the O's after a bit of a difficult period. But for Charlton, 1 win in 7. I know they drew 4 in a row. These two are neck and neck, really, on points in the kind of the same system. Charlton at the start of the season with the Blackett Taylors, the Alfie Mays, the Dobsons, the Carnews, the Jones, Taylor Doones. They've had injuries, but this side is not performing anywhere near the levels they should be.
No, and they had chances yesterday, Ben. If you look at the highlights, like I did before we came on, a lot of them were in favour of Charlton. They just weren't able to get that final pass or the final touch of the move to get the outcome that they wanted. And thought Solbryn had a good game for Leyton Orient, but Orient, they're stuck in there like they have so many times this season. I think of the game against Barnsley, the game against Reading, stuck in it, and down that right hand side, it's a great finish. I think Dan Adji has been a really big improvement to this Orient side. Obviously, had a really good season with Crewe last year. Stepped up. He got injured for the first part of the season. Has come back into the team, and he's been fantastic. And he set the winning goal up. And Yeah, from a Charlton point of view, it's disappointing. On the road, Ben, they're horrific. I can only think of certainly once that they've won away from
1
home.
win 10 away from home, away at Wigan on
Away at
Halloween.
Wigan. Yeah, and they deserve to win that day, but just I don't know. Like you said about Michael Appleton, when it's going wrong, he's so stubborn and he's so just he don't want to change it, and sometimes that's for his own detriment. And you go on runs like Charlton are on now. So I know I saw him in the post match. He was on about that they can still get the top 6. Well, I don't think there's a world where Charlton get the top 6, if I'm perfectly honest.
I don't think they've kicked on from last season as well. And
No.
Dean Holden as well. I think it was the wrong decision to sack him. We were live on air, I think it was, wasn't we?
Yep.
When the news kind of broke, and he had 5 games in charge. It's an absolute disaster. And I think there's a few teams this season that shouldn't have sacked managers when they did. A few have done well for it. I think Bristol Rovers needed not a change because of results, just needed a change through personnel and things going on around the football club. And in Burton, obviously, Dina Manria, again, they've kind of not really kicked on, but in the last couple of games. We'll go to Bristol Rovers now, who did get a great win over league leaders Portsmouth, winning by 2-1, a late goal at the Mem. Brilliant result for them. Thomas again involved. Evans involved again. Evans scoring his 4th goal of the season. Thomas 3 goals. Thomas, a man that was outed by Joey Barton early in the season away at Peterborough, where he carried on with an injury, and he called him like a pathetic boy, didn't he? And kind of that's where it kind of began the problems for Joey Barton. But for Portsmouth, it wasn't their day. They've not been playing well for a couple of weeks now. Away at Bristol Rovers, you can't lower your standards at the men because you'll get caught out, because that's they're like Lincoln last season. They've saved the performances for the good teams. Away at Bolton, now at home to Portsmouth, and away at Peterborough, they said they were in the game, although it was 2-0, just a couple of mistakes. They're a good side. For Portsmouth, again, 2 defeats in 23 they'd have taken. I think they're more worried now because, although they've had 4 good wins in a row, the Blackpool defeat feels ages ago. The performance against Fleetwood wasn't great. I don't think they deserve to win that game. I don't think they deserve to win this game. And Exeter now won a game on Boxing Day, their first win in 14. All of a sudden, that trip there looks a little bit tricky.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Ben, with your analysis on Bristol Rovers. I think they're a similar sort of team to what we were last season, and I know Charlie will think they're going to finish in the top 6, but I can't see Bristol Rovers getting top 6.
That's a Joey Barton effect.
I think so. They played well. I thought they had the moments yesterday, and they absolutely not yesterday, the day before, they absolutely took them. The free kick's a great free kick from Anthony Evans, and then it's really clever play and the build up to the second goal where Thomas is at the back post all unmarked. But Portsmouth, this is a little bit of a blip that they're going on. We've seen them, when they had the blip against Blackpool and they came back and they won 4 straight games without conceding. They've had the draw against Fleetwood where they weren't great. They've had, the setback yesterday. It's going to be tough for them, but they have to go to Exeter. It's good that it's a local game. I've just been called Luke by Chris, which is nice. Hello, Chris. It's a tough game, isn't it, now for Pompey, and all the onus will be on them to go there and win because they're expected to win. And Exeter getting that first win in almost just over 3 months, they'll be chomping at the bit to play Pompey tomorrow night. So yes, good win for Gas, I think, but. Reminds us a lot of Mark Kennedy's Lincoln City at the moment.
A great win for Burton. They play Blackpool in this one. Now, I'll go on to Burton first. 15 out of their 24 points this season have come at the Pirelli, and it was a good win for them. You scored late against Charlton. That's a great point, and this is an even better one. You've won. You've kept a clean sheet. You've scored a goal. Camwell with the goal as well. First goal for him. Again, 5th clean sheet of the season for Max Crocombe since coming into the side. I think he's been one of the better players. And again, it was a huge win for them because they were struggling under Dino Manria towards the end. But for Blackpool, this side, and I'm going to get called sour grapes. At the start of the season, I thought Blackpool would get into the playoffs. I still think Blackpool are a team that can do a Barnsley, can get into the playoffs. I kind of think that they can catch Stevenage. I think Peterborough, I think Portsmouth, I think Bolton, and I think Derby are so much better than Blackpool. I think Barnsley are better than Blackpool. I think Blackpool could be the 6th best team if Stevenage slip up a little bit, which, at this moment in time, they don't look like doing. And Stevenage are actually outside the playoffs now on points per game now because they played those couple more games. So it'd be interesting to see if they drop out, see how they do. Blackpool are probably the 8th best side in Sky Bet League One. Without Jordan Rhodes' goals, they'd actually be 12th. They'd be 7 points worse off. He looks like he's going to be leaving in January. Huddersfield look like they're going to be recalling him. He's actually scored more goals in League One this season than he has done in his last 2 or 3 years in the Championship. So, his age, it's important that he stays playing football, and I think he'll want to stay on the seaside. They've got good players, Blackpool, but away from home, they are not good enough. They've won 2 in 11. And they play some tough teams, but if you want to get into the playoffs, you've got to win and get good performances. They are a counter-attacking team away from home where they can sit behind the ball, and they've got the Leons, Dembele, CJ Hamilton, Rhodes, Cal Jones, the Beasley's done well. They've got a good team, Blackpool, but I just think they are the 8th or 9th best team in Sky Bet League One, and that is where they're going to fall short.
Yeah, I slightly disagree with you on Blackpool, to be honest, Ben. I think they're better than Barnsley. I think their ceiling is a lot higher than Barnsley.
I think Barnsley's midfield 3 is better. And I think Barnsley have got more goal scorers. I think Blackpool are reliant on Rhodes. Beasley's okay. Joseph is, to be fair, came in for £1 million. I think that's $1 million got taken off the Jordan. The Jerry Yates signing, where he went to Swansea.
Yeah,
I just think McAtee, Devante Cole, he's been out form, Devante Cole, for a long while. That he's mentioning as well. McAtee's been outstanding as well. Phillips, Herbie Kane, Cadden. When Barnsley get going in this league, I think Blackpool probably got a better manager. He's done it before. I think as a coach, he's good. As a manager, sometimes I think he struggles. But I'd rather have Critchley than to Neil Collins. But I just think Barnsley would just edge past. Blackpool beat them away at Oakwell.
I disagree. I think
when I say it's close, I think it's 55-45.
I think a fully fit Blackpool team beats a fully fit Barnsley team for me. I think they've got a higher ceiling. I think they've got more ability. In the transition, I think they're dangerous with Dembele, Hamilton, Rhodes. They've got the likes of Norburn and Dougal, who
they're brilliant at home.
At this level,
they're brilliant at home. Blackpool at Bloomfield Road, I think on stats they are. I'd fear going there away from home in a playoff format. I agree. Blackpool are playoff kings. Like the 4 or 5 promotions out of the playoffs. They are playoff kings. You know all about that.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
But they've got a good team. I just think they've got a better team now than they had 3 years ago when they got up at this point. Because the January window 3 years ago, they brought Ellis Sims in, Elliot Embleton in. Yeah. I think Blackpool are 2 or 3 away from being a top 4, top 5 side in League One. They're not. And I mean that it's literally, I'm saying 51-49 Barnsley. That is how close it is.
They're just too inconsistent, aren't they, Blackpool? And not yesterday, I keep thinking the football was yesterday. Boxing Day sort of showed that, really. I think they had opportunities. It was, like, again, similar to Charlton at Leighton Orient, just that final product was just really poor. Whether it was being blazed over the bar or Dembele didn't pick the right pass. And if Jordan Rhodes does go back, Ben, then that's going to be trouble for them because they have to replace all them goals. I mean, I'm hoping Huddersfield get a move on and do it first day of the window so that he can't play on New Year's Day. But that's the one thing that I do worry about Blackpool. They're not consistent. I would say why you'd pick at the minute, and I'd pick Stevenage over Barnsley and Blackpool. I think Stevenage are more like that, whereas Barnsley and Blackpool can be a little bit too like this, home and away. So, but a great result for Burton. We shouldn't take that away from Burton Albion. Really good result, a really good goal from. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, but I think he doesn't mean it. It's he's aiming to put a cross in, and nobody touches it, and it goes in the back stick. But great win for Burton.
Derby do have the best defence now in Sky Bet League One. There you are, Jake. There you are. He's a good guy. He's Chris. Ben, do you think James Stockley will come to? You really think Fleetwood? I tell you what, it wouldn't surprise me.
You really think Fleetwood are going to sell a striker to a relegation rival?
Yeah. So our number 9. Bear in mind that the other striker that we've got is gone by the first week. Last game tomorrow. Thank you, Jack Marriott. All the best. Anyway, League 2 pod next season. Cheltenham won another game of football, won 5, drawn 3, lost 4 under Darryl Clark, 1.5 points per game. If they carried on at that trajectory, they'd be at about 53, 54 points, where they were first season in Sky Bet League One, safe as houses. They're 11th points at home. They scored 15, conceded 12 under Darrell Clark. However, Shrewsbury are on course to be the lowest ever goal scorers in Sky Bet League One. They have scored 14 in 24. Now, some stats. They've got the lowest goal scorers, the lowest expected goals, the worst goal difference. It's not going too well at Shrewsbury. They've won games in recent weeks. They've got over the line and they deserve credit for that. Is it sustainable? It's being asked. It's bleak to watch. It reminds me of a worse version of Scott Brown at Fleetwood last season. It will catch up with them eventually. I promise you that. They've gone on long periods without goals. I know Cheltenham have. Cheltenham have now scored more goals since Darrell Clark's arrival than Shrewsbury have done in 24 games. I think Forest Green scored 38 goals last season. Well, as it stands, Shrewsbury are going to score around 27. It's really bleak. And, their top goal scorer as well, a stat from, that Salotcast actually retweeted, their top goal scorer doesn't even get into the top 50 goal scorers in Sky Bet League One.
Yeah, Shrewsbury, I've been concerned about them all season, mate. They're a team of moments, aren't they? Where they have so few opportunities in a game and they can take it, and that's how they've been able to accumulate 27 points, which for 14, that must be one of the best ever goals for points ratio that we've seen in Sky Bet League One. But yeah, they're really poor. I was talking to Gab yesterday on his EFL debate show with Matt Farley actually about the dogfight and Shrewsbury. We sort of pleaded a case for all of the bottom four to come good and try and get themselves out of it, bar one team, which I won't worry you too much about because you know a lot about them. And Shrewsbury were one, even though they're as high as 15th, I think they were as high as 13th or 14th at the start of play on Boxing Day. They're just awful, mate. They're horrific. And to go to Cheltenham, who are on a much better run, it has to be said. I think they've missed having that sort of. They've missed having a George Lloyd type of striker. I think they've got the likes of Rob Street, Will Goodwin, Aidan Keener, all sort of very similar, big centre forwards who get the ball, hold it up, press really well. George Lloyd, who had a really good season on loan at Grimsby last season, he's something a little bit different. He's a bit smaller, he's a bit quicker. He can get around defenders, and I think he did that really well yesterday. You saw both of his goals, both really good strikers' finishes, and I think Cheltenham deserved it, mate. And I think we all called it on T-Lop apart from you, mate, unfortunately.
Yeah. Next up, Exeter 1, Wycombe 0. First win in 14 for the Grecians. Wycombe, no win in 11. They've drawn 6, lost 5. A really, really poor run from Luke Leahy. Will be cursing himself after a missed penalty.
Yeah.
But for Exeter, great win. Lost, now a bit of a positive sign for Exeter. Now they've won that game of football. They've lost 1 in 4. Got a couple of decent points there now at home. 5 points from those 4 games. 4 out of the 6 wins this season have all been by 1 goal as well. They went away at Wycombe early in the season on the opening day and won 3-0. I went away at Carlisle and won 2-0. And got a slender win away at Burton. So these wins have been important for them. Cox with the goal. Big win. Wycombe, disaster. Matt Bloomfield, I know they've gone this different way. You've got to be patient. But how patient is patient?
Yeah, difficult really for Wycombe, isn't it? They're clearly going through a run where they've got a lot of injuries. You can point it to the likes of Freddie Potts being out. Brandon Hanlon obviously picked up a nasty injury earlier, and I think it was last week as well, which is poor for them. But yeah, you are concerned, aren't you? The style of football isn't getting them, and I don't think the style of football they want to play is fit for a relegation dogfight, which I think. They're only 5 points clear of Reading at the moment, and Reading, albeit play the game more, you'd expect Reading to come up and do a lot better. So for Exeter, it was really, really good goal. I thought it was well worked down the right hand side. It was a good strike. I think it was Sonny Cox that put it in the net. It looked like it just hit some smack in the face from about 3 yards out. But I think a really big part of Exeter as well. Dion Rankin was back. He's been out for a while. He had a nasty injury. He's on loan from Chelsea. He comes with really big rave reviews, and I think that getting him back in the team and then winning again is no coincidence really. So Exeter, they'll be, like I say, they'll be looking forward to facing Pompey now at SJP on tomorrow night. It's going to be a good game, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Fleetwood Town 1, Carlisle 1. 2 games in consecutive games, really. Fleetwood have come from a goal down to rescue a point this time. Jaden Stockley were playing to an Owen Moxon Thunderbolt from about 20 yards out. Poor defending from the Cod Army. A game that, in my opinion, were the worst two sides in Sky Bet League One. And after both games this season, I've come away thinking how poor Carlisle are, but equally how poor Fleetwood are. Paul Simpson thought Carlisle were the better side. I disagree. I think both sides were as bad as each other. They probably had the better chances. I'll agree with him on that. I thought Gabriel did a really good job in goal. I thought he commanded his box as a young goalkeeper on his debut really well as well. Moxon with something a bit special. For Fleetwood, a young squad out there, and an 11 that contained Jay Lynch, Boston Lowell, Ben Hennigan, Harrison Holgate, Josh Earl, Phoenix Patterson, Cole Johnson, Brendan Wiradu, Melise Asamoah, Jack Martin, Jaden Stockley. 4 of those, I would be surprised if they are still Fleetwood players at the end of the window. And calls again at Fleetwood on some Fleetwood social media pages saying you are sending us down week by week. There's not many fans. You don't get criticised. Here is some criticism. Sort it out. I think some of that is warranted. I think some of it is a little bit too far. We already know Sean Rooney, Scott Robertson, and Jack Marriott are all likely to leave. Jay Lynch potentially could leave the football club as well. Could be a huge clear out for the Cod Army. It is what's needed. But again, as Wardy said, it's open heart, heart surgery in January sometimes isn't a good thing. Fleetwood have won 7 out of 23 home games this calendar year, and I've got the worst record at home in the EFL, which is awful. 8 points as well. I don't know where to go for Carlisle. A battling point going into Wigan. Fleetwood Town need a lot to be done. I'm tired of watching this team play. I physically feel sick of it, and I go to games not expecting anything now. And if I'm honest with you, I came away the other day, don't care because I expected it. Another spineless performance in my view.
Yeah, I can see what it's doing to you, mate. I can see you're getting, restless about Fleetwood and hoping that they can stay in the league. But if you keep performing the way you are, Ben, and we said this on the EFL debate last night, you are without doubt the one team in the bottom 4 currently that I do worry for. Looking at the others, Carlisle, yes, they were poor yesterday, but they're going to have the finances to bring it in. Fleetwood will have money to bring players in, mate, but you've got to get the right ones in. You've got to get the generals in, and if you're so well. If Lee Johnson's position in charge of head coach is tenuous at the moment, if it is, then why would they then back him in the window? I think we'll see that if Fleetwood do back Johnson in the window, I think they'll keep him to the end of the season. There's no point in backing him now and then letting him go 3 weeks after the window finishes.
There's no point having recruitment meetings with a manager. I'm not being funny. Sacking him now. If you sack him now, it's even more. He's as brain dead as in January. Because not being funny. January's on Monday.
Yeah,
Monday,
new manager's got nothing to do,
like,
has he?
Can I just say, by the way, it's not like I think people think, oh, January will just come. They've been having board meetings for the last 6-8 weeks. You plan 6 or 8 weeks who you want to sign, who will be available. And I bet you Lee Johnson already has his list of names who he's going to go in for. I bet you Fleetwood have already signed 2 or 3.
Yeah, but this is the thing. If you see that they back Lee Johnson, I don't think they'll sack him. But if you sort of see, 2 weeks in and Fleetwood haven't brought a player in, then I think you might start to get a little bit worried about it. But I don't know, Ben. I watched your highlights yesterday. You had a few moments, a few pot shots on the edge of the box that were well saved by Breeze. There was one at the end, I think it was Marriott. He shot and he just went over the bar. And I'm not being funny, I think you'd have seen it. But Phoenix Patterson is literally on his own to his left. He literally slips him through. Phoenix Patterson on that right foot is deadly, Ben, as you well know, and could well have had an opportunity to score. But yeah, just 2 poor teams, I think, yesterday, feeling each other out. 2 teams that need a lot of work in the January transfer window. And hopefully you get them, mate, because we don't want to see Fleetwood get relegated. Nobody wants to have to go to Grimsby away in a league game, mate, do they?
By the way, as well, this won't stop next season, all being well. So this will carry on. Don't worry. Lincoln 0, Bolton won.
Yeah.
Bolton, another typical Bolton away performance. Get a goal late on to well with it, across from deep, and again poked home. Lincoln did survive some scares, but again thought they were going to be good value for a point. Only 18 wins in the last 57 at the bank, Jake, for you in League One, which is a bit of a worry since since fans have returned and since the bank has been a hard place to go. You make it electric. However, on the pitch, you haven't been good enough at home in the previous season as well. No one in 4, 2 wins in 11 for Lincoln. Again, this Bolton side, they get the job done. That's their 14th win, their 9th clean sheet. They've won 6 away from home, and they just look good at times. They look solid. And at times this season, I think they've been better going forward than they did last season, and a bit shaky about where they look like they could concede a goal. But again, they've got through moments. It feels like a really difficult period, this about them, because lost to Bristol, lost to Portsmouth, lost to Carlisle about 6 weeks ago, and a great run from those periods. But every time they lose a game of football, they'll bounce back. Another Bristol game, it was a 2-game run, but they bounced back well. And people going, "Oh, it's charity wanderers." Well, you can go to a stand and win 1-0 and find it away ugly. And in January is where Bolton in the last few years have kind of gone on great runs. He finished 9th in the first season, got into the playoffs last season, finished 5th. And then this season, they're looking for the top 2, and I think it's 4 or 5 places playing for 2 positions. There's actually only 4 or 5 points between 7th and 2nd at the minute. It's so close, but Bolton get the job done as always.
Yeah, and I don't think they would have got 3 points if Danny Mandroy hadn't been a bit of a prat and got sent off, because and there are Bolton fans in here, Ben. I thought we defended really well. Didn't really have
Rovers, the only one team in Bristol.
I don't know. The other Liam Manning's Red Army are getting pretty close to the top 6 in the Championship. They might be getting a little bit concerned. But I think the game sort of hinged on Danny Mandroy. When we were 11 versus 11, I didn't really feel much of a threat from Bolton. They didn't have many moments where I went, "Oh my God, they've missed. How they missed?" They weren't constantly getting behind us. And then when we went down to 10 men, I don't know. It just they quickly brought on Bodvarsson, and they completely just. The play just got a lot quicker. They were finding overloads down both sides of the pitch, and the goal, the pressure eventually told, because it's a great ball in, and Owen Toll, who that's his 2nd time in 2 seasons that he's scored in front of a sold out away end at Sincil Bank, which is a bit sickening to me. But he's a good centre half, and I thought they played well. Everything went through Rico Santos, like we all know. They got some great options. I thought Dempsey changed the game when he came on. Magoma was pretty good. Morley, probably not his best game, but that's big news today that he signed a new contract extension, so they'll get him in his prime. But I have no complaints. It's it looked like on Twitter the reaction to their team was that Ian Evatt was trying to change it up a bit. It was still a pretty strong Bolton team, Ben, from what I saw. But coming up against a Lincoln team that there's no point hiding it, and it is an excuse, Ben, because we've got no strikers. If we had fit strikers and players that didn't get stupidly sent off, we could have got something yesterday. And do you know what? I feel really bad for the other 10 players. I don't feel bad for Danny Mandroy because he was an idiot to get sent off. I feel bad for the 10 players that worked and ran and sweat to try and they were so close to getting a point against one of the best teams in the league, and ultimately come up just short. But fair play, Bolton. I did think they were better than us, but they just couldn't get that killer edge until the last minute, which is really unfortunate. Big game for us.
Cambridge led at the Cast. You thought, here we go again. Yes,
hoping.
Yeah, I know. And then the Jack Ward Football Podcast comes up with a goal. Tyler Goodrum,
well done, Woody.
Equaliser, and Kieran Brown with a late goal and assist for him. 4 goals, 1 assist for him, and goals from the back this season. Your Greg Lees, your Moores, Brown as well. They've liked scoring goals from that back 3, back 4. However, they've liked to play under Manning or Des. 24 points at home, 2 wins and 2 for Des at home now, winning the last one as well, which was a big win over Burton at the time. Again, the first loss under Harris for Cambridge. Great result. Only won 1 in 11 away from home, Cambridge. They've not won in 10 away from home. They won the opening away day of the fixture of the season. I don't know who that was against. I'm a bit memories fog. But since then, 10 away games, no win. But for Oxford, good win, keeps them in contention. 5th best home record in Scarlet League One.
Yeah, I agree. And to be
Well,
honest,
that'll
Ben,
out Sky Bet League One.
Cambridge had opportunities to double the lead. I think Brophy had a really good opportunity to stick one home when they were 1-0 up. And you're just thinking, Cambridge aren't going to take these chances. Oxford had the quality up front with Wardy and Rodriguez and Mark Harris, who I thought was much improved yesterday. Great strike from Goodrum to beat the keeper, and then we always that's right, Ben. We've not had a striker all bloody season. I know about it. Thankfully, January's only a few days away, but
It's January. I don't like the sound of that.
I do, mate. Freddie Draper's coming home. Thank God for that. But
What was it you said 2 months ago? Oh, he needs a full season out on loan.
Yeah, but mate, I've seen Jova Makama play up front pretty much for the last 6 weeks, and it's made me. I used to have a lot of air, mate, more air than this, and it's going. But yeah, no, it's what was I talking about? Oxford, yeah, we've said about Pompey and how they can score 90+ minute winners, and it was Oxford's turn, wasn't it? Another one, another. It was a strike from Kieran Brown, the centre back, wasn't it? It was a
fourth goal of the season.
Tap in, and do you know what, mate? I bloody loved the knee slide. It was great. Did you see it? You see so much passion, and I don't know. I get a little bit reactionary over Oxford under Des. I don't think Des's yellows are as good as Liam Manning's yellows. So we'll have to wait to see how they get on. But for me, going to be a tough one in for Oxford. But they've got every chance of getting in the top 6, haven't they?
I tell you what, Peterborough 2, Reading 2. What a result for Ding. Peterborough unbeaten in 7, won 5, drawn 2, 1 loss in 17. Where did that come at, Jake? How do you know?
What, Peterborough's 1 loss in 17?
Yeah.
To Portsmouth.
No, that was the game before that, the 18th game. Wigan away on a Tuesday
Oh,
night.
2-1, didn't they? Got beat 2-1.
They've collected 36 points in that run, won 10, drawn 6. Big win for them. Mason Clark with another goal, and Jason Knight with another goal. Aziz again, he's on fire at the minute. 2 goals, 2 assists in his last kind of few games as well. 3 goals, 6 assists this season as well. And Smith again, 6 goals in 12, not doing too bad since his move from Cambridge. People will be disappointed because of the standards that they've set and how close now 7th is to 2nd. We'll come to the League One table in about 10, 15 minutes or so in that part of the segment. But Reading can take humongous pride out of their recent form. 1 loss in 7 matches. They beat Wycombe, they beat Carlisle at home, and they look ever so improving. The fighting spirit's there, young bunch of players out there as well, but alongside some experienced players, the Buttons, the Nibs, the Wings, again, and the Smiths of these worlds as well. But they're getting the young players, and the young players are providing energy, and they want to be there. They want to work hard for the football club. Whereas they get other football clubs, there's players that don't want to be at that football club where they're getting in the way of an opportunity. For Reading, I think they will be able to strengthen in January, all being well for them. I know, obviously, embargoes and stuff if a takeover does happen, but these young players are doing not doing too badly.
Yeah, cracking result for Reading. I thought on Boxing Day. I told you, Ben, we came on here, didn't we? After we played Reading, I thought they were probably one of the best teams that I've seen Lincoln play at home this season. I thought they were really good that day. Sam Smith is a nightmare. Cambridge United fans will tell you how good of a player he can be at this level. I think it means something for him to go home to Reading, where he came through and play and be the main man. I think he's really relishing it. Something has also got to be said about Aziz, by the way. He's making his own little goal of the season collaboration. Don't know if you've seen it, Ben. He scored a worldie. When was it? Was it the game before Christmas? Scored an absolute I'm not sure, I can't remember who they played, but he scored a worldie at home, and then I'm pretty sure he scored another good goal on Boxing Day. Yeah, Carlisle, and he scored a really good goal. On Boxing Day, a great finish into the top corner. Peterborough, they're on a good run, mate. They've got good players, haven't they? If they can keep Poku, Ronnie Edwards, Mason Clark, all fire, and Joe Randall as well, then they stand every chance of being in the top 6. But I thought Reading deserved a point yesterday. I thought their performance was well worthy of a point, and that's what they got away at London Road. It's a credit to Ruben Sellers, but we still need to hear news that Dai Yong has left, because that is not good enough that he's still in charge there as well.
especially away from a team that have got the best expected goals, best goal difference, and the highest goal scorers in the division. On 45, talking about goals, Port Vale have conceded 33, 10 of which to Barnsley. I think Conor Ripley has now conceded 13 in his last 3 meetings against Barnsley, with the 7 against on the opening day of the season. And I can't believe that the opening day of the season being replayed on Boxing Day already. Feels like it was 5 minutes ago, but also feels like a lifetime ago. Obviously 3 last season when he was with Morecambe. As well. They've only conceded 23 and 20, which for a side like Port Vale, where you're going to be in the table, don't think it's too bad. They were never really in the game. McAtee, 6 goals, 2 assists for him this season. We asked for more off him. Scored a wildy on Saturday against Borough, and then scored an absolute screamer yesterday. I think the one, 2 days ago, I think the one against Port Vale just tops it. He's one of the goals of the season. We asked for more goals from Phillips in midfield. He's now scored 2 and 3 as well. Herbie Kane again with another assist for him, 4 goals, 5 assists, 3 assists in his last 4. De Givenley has got 2 assists in his last 2 games as well. Away from home, this Barnsley side are cooking, doing really well. We asked for them to be more consistent. We asked for them to beat teams around them. They did that against Stevenage, go away to Port Vale and win. Obviously, they'll be disappointed with the goals that they conceded, but Port Vale, decent run going into 7 points in the last 3. Great win for Barnsley, slowly ticking it up, and on points per game now they will be 6th in the table and above Stevenage, who they beat at the weekend.
Yeah, I thought they were electric in that first half, Ben Barnsley. Devante Cole running forward, John McAtee, in the hole with Herbie Kane. Can't say that too many times because you're getting bothered, but I thought they were great, Barnsley, going forward. And when you've got a player like McAtee on such form, you're starting to think, well, maybe Luton could do with a player like him in the Premier League. So we'll have to wait and see if he can stay the season there. But fantastic talent. His goal was spectacular. Port Vale, to be fair, I will give them a little bit of credit that second half. I thought they came out, clearly they got a bit of a telling off at half time by Andy Crosby. I seem to think that I listened to the Ale and the Vale podcast.
I think you've had too much bloody ale.
Potentially, mate, to be fair. Listen to their podcast, and they were sort of saying that Crosby, they're in a bit of bother, mate, with Crosby. They want him to go.
Very much cross and hope team.
Yeah, and Ethan Chislett, he scored a hat trick before Christmas, and another goal yesterday. He had one disallowed for offside as well. But the thing with Port Vale for me, Ben, and what they're crying out for is an actual decent number 9, because they've got Ryan Loft, who, if there are Bristol Rovers fans in here, will tell you that he's not a fantastic option.
It's criminal, by the way, that they let, and I said this for Fleetwood last year, that they let Ellis Harrison go to MK Down. Why? Why did they let Ellis Harrison leave that football club? I know he went on a drought. He started off with, I think he scored like 8 in his first 10, the first 11. And he went on a bit of a drought. But he wins everything in the air. The way they want to play under Crosby, get balls to the forward line as quickly as they can, get balls into the box. Criminal. He's a good striker. People score 10 to 15 goals a season. Port Vale, that'll keep you in League One. For Portsmouth, different expectations. Marcus, we said the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, it's literally like, right, I can't know. It's literally like wanting a takeaway, and then you're getting told that you've got a rustlers in the fridge. It's like, come on.
It depends which rustlers you're on about, mate. If you're on about the barbecue one, mate, they're banging. I'll take one of them. But also
what about the burger that you had with your mate Paul on last season?
Whopper, that was nice. But
and I bet he thought you were a Whopper as well.
Yeah, I bet he probably did. Yeah, probably hit me on the head with one. But they've also got Uche, haven't they? But Ethan Chisholm, I think that's a shining light for Port Vale. Obviously, he's contributing, isn't he? A hat trick against Wigan. Great goal yesterday as well. But what are you laughing at?
You'll see.
I'll see.
Go on.
Well, I won't see, will I? Because my eyes up here. But fair play, Barnsley. Good result.
Stevenage won 3-0 against Northampton. A big win for them. Did you see the commentator's little jingle that's gone viral?
Yes, I did on BBC Sport. Yeah,
Yeah, that was quite good. Read a little stat for you. His last kind of couple of seasons at Stevenage scored 17 goals in Scabbard League 2, 17 in 83, scored 14 in 23. Really, really good win. 3-0, clean sheet.
Can you sing it, Ben?
I don't know. Butler.
Elliot List.
Butler got another assist. Carry on. 3-0, great win.
I was hoping you were going to sing it, mate.
Clean sheet. List getting his 4th goal, 19 games, big win. Bounce back ability from the other day because that would have hurt them in the way they lost that, going a goal up. Big goal, Reedy again getting the opening goal within the first few minutes. Came out firing as you'd expect them to do. Big win. And Butler getting an assist.
Yeah, I thought Stevenage played a lot better football actually yesterday. I keep saying yesterday.
Yeah, I do.
I thought they played a lot better football. They played it on the ground. But yeah, Jamie Reid, like you say, give him half a sniff in front of goal, and it's a great finish. And then Jordan Roberts. I mean, you can't, if you watch the highlights, you can't quite see what he does, but he gets it. He takes it down in the air and he puts it over the goalkeeper. Look, I'm hoping we get a Cobblers team that play like that tomorrow night because they were disjointed. They were run ragged from the runs from Roberts and Reid and the likes of Butler as well and Luther Wilding. So gonna be intrigued to see how they are tomorrow. But yeah, just Stevenage to keep on going, mate, don't they? Everyone keeps saying that we expect Stevenage to fall off, but yeah, they are. 43 points after 24 games. They stand every chance, mate, don't they?
Gillingham were like this a few years ago. Do you remember about 2016-17? Gillingham were, they did kind of finish about 9th or 10th in the end, but yeah, they were up there. I think Stevenage, I've got the 14th biggest budget in the league and expecting big expectations as well. Last up, Wigan 0, Derby 1. Derby 7 wins in 8, no shots on target for Wigan Athletic, 6 clean sheets in that run. The Wycombe one was a penalty, and they're just finding ways to win games of football. Obviously, they conceded to your boys as well, but managed to win the game in the end. Thanks. And Wigan are a very patchy team. Lost the last 3, won 5 of the previous 7 before that. So again, Derby slowly getting wins. Poor warm performance, not so great on the eye. Barkhusen with another assist. I know your mate will absolutely be buzzing with that. Tom Barkhusen masterclass. Nelson with the goal. Another clean sheet away from home. You've gone to a side, kept clean sheet, won the game of football. Paul Warne getting this side playing, getting results, grinding it out. This is what teams that need to do for promotion. They haven't been doing this enough in Sky Bet League One. They are on an absolute roll, and nobody wants to play Derby at the moment.
Well, they're not pretty, mate, are they?
It doesn't matter about being pretty. They're getting the job done.
Yeah, I
don't think I've been pretty all season. I don't think Peterborough look. They've been prettier, but I think that Stevenage can find a way to win. Peterborough look pretty on the eye. Oxford have sometimes looked pretty on the eye, but what Derby have got is a backbone now. And in that last 7 games, to keep them out of clean sheets, they've done. If you keep a clean sheet, right, the quality in Barnsley, in Derby's front line, and your Mendes Lang, who's been terrific, by the way, since that Stevenage game. Collins, Hurrihan, Bird in midfield as well. Barkhusen, when he's at it as well. They've got options as well. And sometimes it can be a bit flat. It's a big crowd. It's hard to get going, but they're a force we reckon with when they get going.
Yeah, no, they absolutely are, mate. But they should be. The Derby County. Do you know what I mean?
Here we go.
The Derby County, mate.
I get the Derby County. All right, then. Why have we been praising Portsmouth all season? The Portsmouth. Bolton. Bolton should be there. Bolton are a massive
absolutely, they should be there. Yeah, absolutely.
But we don't say this after every... Is it a Paul Warne agenda?
I ain't got a Paul Jewell, the old Wigan man. I ain't got a Derby agenda. I don't think they're that impressive. I think they've, I look at wins against Exeter. They drew against Cambridge at home. They narrowly scraped past you boys. 4-0. The Northampton and the Barnsley game. I'll absolutely take that and say, yeah.
You can say the same about Portsmouth as well.
I think Portsmouth play inventive attacking football. They've got attacking options that
I get that.
Go forward and play it.
Does it matter as long as you win games of football and get promoted? Does it really matter? Does it matter as long as you win games of football and get promoted? I agree with you that they're not, they are sometimes a bit flat.
Tony's back with me. Derby County should be top of the league, how big they are, and how much money they've got to spend.
It should be, right?
They should be top of the league.
Bolton Wanderers and Portsmouth should be up there as well, right? Yeah, but it's like you can't just keep saying the Derby County should be there.
You can.
Like, they have to be there.
Of course you can.
You have to be there.
I ain't got a Paul Warner agenda. I just don't think Derby are very good. Yeah, they keep winning, but I don't think they're very good.
Charlton, again, got a big budget.
Very poor. Charlton are very poor though. Charlton have got a bad manager, mate. That's their problem. To be fair, so are Derby. No, they haven't. But,
by the way, we are like this off stream. By the way, just anything that he says, I've got to disagree with. So just putting that out.
Doing it for the clicks, aren't we, Ben?
Bolton fans coming at me again. I'll tell you what, right? First season of doing this, remember that I thought Jake had a little dig at Bolton's away spot, and I thought, oh crap!
No.
A week later,
it was Bolton having a dig at Wigan, wasn't it? And Wigan were top of the league, and Bolton weren't. And we were
Bolton fans are brilliant, by the way, right? And I kind of thought, right, I'll have a little joke, and I kind of thought, hang on, we could get relegated to Bolton. And I was getting a bit of abuse. I thought, and I was sort of stood in the stand going, these are going to relegate us, aren't they? I thought Karma's going to come in, but no. Again, I saw 12 games done, I think, Jake. Again, we've done it in 40, 45 minutes. Should we go to the League One table?
Go on then.
But before we do so, miracles happened, and miracles do come round. Right. So Jake puts in, so I finished second, by the way. I'm a bit shy mentioning it, but I finished second in the Football Content Awards. I finished second.
It's not like it's hanging on your wall behind your camera.
No, mate, I'm very shy. I don't like mentioning that I finished second in the awards as well. And well done to first, but I finished second. So brilliant. But again, in Lux Sports Media, I think it is. Again, they've run something of a similar ilk. And I've been nominated for 2 things. If you want to go and vote, I think it was best EFL page and best content creator. So if you could go and vote, there is a link in the description. So go to the description, press the link, and I'm under Nappers. So if you want to go and follow me on that and vote for us on that. But I could make Jake Journalist of the Year. Jake, can you even spell it?
Of course
can. You even spell journalist?
It's in my Twitter bio, mate. So of course it is. It isn't. It used to be, but I'm a Football Writers Association accredited journalist, mate. It's big. Mate. Have you seen? Have you seen the names that I'm up with? By the way, I've got Gab Sutton, who is literally like the best thing, one of the best people in the EFL. Love his show. EFL Debate is great. He writes professionally. He's a writer.
Top boy.
You've got Tom Williams, who makes some really, really good threads. If you haven't seen Sensible Transfers, always tweeting. Big Knox County fan. He's great at what he does. Yeah, all right. Yeah. And then you've got this other fella, Mark Dunford, who's apparently the editor of the Crawley Observer. So he's actually a paid journalist. I've just got a degree. That's all I am. I don't know how.
Mate, no, I don't agree. You are good at what you do. I appreciate you coming on in. You asked for, what am I going to pay you double time on Christmas Eve? I'll give you a platform. I tell you what, son, what would you do without us T-Lot boys, dragging you through? Channel 72 is coming as well, I believe as well. So hopefully that comes out. You've got a mic. But well done, mate, for getting there. If you want to go and vote for us both, that'll be appreciated. And I tell you what, Fleetwood Town went to Portsmouth and got a point. Jake got a girlfriend and Jake can win an award. Anything can happen. So go in there. Sue's already got our back. She's voted for us. You sure it's not a green screen, Ben? Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Not very good, but 4th in the league does not show very poor or overachieving. I think League One this season is a poor division. I will say that. The Fan Zone are very, very, very good. One of the best club podcasts that I listen to. We'll come to the Sky Bet League One table. We'll come to that in a bit. We'll start off with Carlisle United, who occupy bottom. Fleetwood just above. Cheltenham rise off the bottom to 19 points. 18 under Daryl Clark in 12 games. Reading just inside. Reading would actually be on course for around about 46 points, probably 42 without with the deduction. So that might be enough. It would have been enough a couple of seasons ago to keep them out, wouldn't it, Jake? As you mentioning, Exeter with a huge win. Wigan again slowly getting dragged back into it after 3 defeats. Burton with impressive wins. Port Vale on a decent run. Shrewsbury, Cambridge also suffered defeat, as also did Wycombe, and Leyton Orient rise to the top. Leyton Orient always seem to be top of that bottom half, don't they?
Don't they? Yeah, and I think that's a credit because Orient have been without some key players for big chunks of the season. Dan Adjei, Theo Archibald's had a spell out. Joe Piggott's not been firing on all cylinders yet. So I think that's a credit for them. Like I mentioned with Gab yesterday, I think there's an opportunity for all 4 of those teams in the bottom 4 to jump out. The one I'm most worried about, Ben, I won't lie, are your boys. I think Reading are playing really well at the moment. Cheltenham the same. And Carlisle, I think, will get financially backed in the window. So I'm looking at Exeter, I'm looking at Wycombe, I'm looking at Burton, I'm looking at Port Vale, looking at Shrewsbury, potentially even Cambridge as well. They've had a bit of a good run, but those are the teams that I'm starting to get worried about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think Wigan are a cause for concern. I know they've been consistently good, but I know without deduction they'd be in the top half. But I actually predicted them to finish 13th. But look how close it is between Exeter, who had a really poor season, who have got a game in hand on Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient have had a really good season, only 6 points, which I think just tells you volumes of how close this league is. And between Leyton Orient and Lincoln, there's 4 points as well. Bristol Rovers occupied 12th on 28 points. Charlton have had a poor few weeks as well, very inconsistent.
That's not up to date, mate, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It's not, because we played 24.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry. There we are. There we are. Sorry.
Bristol Rovers are 1 point behind.
There we are. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Charlton, Northampton, Bristol Rovers pressed last week's, and then Lincoln on 32 points. Very, very close. In that kind of that period. But look between Barnsley and Peterborough, 4 points. Barnsley got a game in hand on Peterborough. Also, big game between them two coming up as well. Bolton also have some games, winnable games that they'd fancy themselves in as well. Derby on a right run. Oxford a little bit inconsistent. And Stevenage have only lost 1 game at home this season. So they've been really good there. This League One table could go anywhere.
Yeah, for me, Ben, I think it's the top 8. I personally can't see any team, Lincoln, Bristol Rovers, Northampton or Charlton. I can't see either of those making the top 6, if I'm perfectly honest. I know there are fans of all of those teams in the chat that might think they are, and I can see a comment from Charlie there thinking that they might just get into the top 6. I'd be very surprised if Bristol Rovers can oust Blackpool and Barnsley and Stevenage. I can't see that.
12 points, by the way, as well. So I think I'd say for Bristol Rovers to get in this season, I think you're going to need 78 points to get into the playoffs this season. So you're telling me, but you're looking at you needing 47 points from 24 games. You're going to have to go 2 points per game. You're going to have top 2 form. Yeah.
Well, with what Sue's just put the comment in there, Skabala sort of said that if we can stay within there, that we might be looking to try and get in the top. For me, I don't think we're a top 6 team. I don't think.
Hallelujah! Finally, it's taken until Christmas. I tell you what, lads, I've had it all season, and I said to him, I like Lincoln. You're a good club, and I've got a bit of a
cooking, mate. We're cooking for next year. We're not.
You keep telling me, and I said to you, you're the 9th best team in League One. You are the 9th best team in League. And when you played us, I went, no offense, we were poor. I thought they're not playoffs. Like, with respect, and
with injuries,
I'd love you to go up.
With injuries, with it, I think we have been unfair. If we had a striker, Ben, I think we'd have a lot more. I think
Bristol Rovers, Northampton, Charlton, and Lincoln and Blackpool would all be saying the same. Realistically, I think Charlton been very unlucky with injury.
I don't know. I
think Bristol Rovers with a fully fit squad are better than Lincoln. I do.
I completely disagree with you. I genuinely completely disagree. I think we have a better squad. I could go man through man and say I think if you picked a Lincoln and Bristol Rovers combined 11, we'd have more men in that team than Bristol Rovers. Well, that's my opinion.
As a squad, Bristol Rovers.
Yeah. Okay, but we've got injuries. But if we had a fit strike, we've been without a striker since the start of September.
Sign better players then.
Eh?
Sign more players then.
I don't think you can really epitomise like can't really.
Tell you what, lads, right? You know he's come through a long period when the highlight of your show is not talking about how bad your current team is, just winding your co-hosts up about you're a bit off the playoffs. Yeah, considering last season,
where are you, Ben?
Considering we had last season, we had a bet on us team finishing, who's going to finish above each other, and you have 32 points on what we're, down here on 18, 14.
Yeah, you didn't want to make the bet this year.
Lincoln have done really well in League One to establish themselves as a top 10 League One team. Take nothing away from them for that. And, your issue is that while you are there, and this will sound crazy, you don't lose. Obviously injuries, but you don't lose games of football, which is a good thing. Mm-hmm. The issue is you don't win enough games of football, and you look at it. Agreed. You are literally a team that will win 1 in 3, and you've won 8 in 24. 18 out of 57. That is literally 19. 57 divided by 3 is 19. 1 in 3 at home. That is not good. If you're wanting to go up, in my opinion, you need to get between 40 and 50 points to get into the playoffs at home. And then if you can go and get 30, 35 away from home, and you need to score about 75 goals with injuries, with a fully fit squad, I think Lincoln would be at around 70 goals. I really do. And I know it's only another 7 goals could easily earn Lincoln 9 points, really, realistically. So I've got nothing against him. It's just easy click, need to get a bite out of him, anything for a little bit of a bite. Any questions, get them in the comment section below. That would be massively appreciated. For the last 5 minutes, we are also 22 subscribers away from 12,500. And we want to hit it by the end of the year as well. And I also think we're about 60 away from getting the same amount of subscribers as we did last year, as we did this year as well. And 64% of these subscribers that are watching these streams and videos aren't subscribed yet. So what are you doing? Make an account or get subscribed, because it does help us out so much. It is free to do so. 22 away. I'd be massively appreciated if you could go and help us out. And go and follow my good mate, Jake Tong, on Twitter, Jake_98. The link is in the description as well. So go over there and show him some love. We've got the 2 Ethans. BAJ, what are you drinking?
Honestly, Bristol Rovers fans have given me loads of stick, but I genuinely stick by that. I genuinely stick by that.
Go and watch my video on the Fleetwood situation. It's not the manager. There's so many small issues at Fleetwood, and there has been for 5 or 6 years, put it that way. You're chatting hung if you think Lincoln have a better squad than Bristol Rovers. We have a better player in Lincoln's team in every position bar goalkeeper.
Didn't you say Ethan Erraham was one of the best centre mids in the league, Ben?
Yeah, I do. I do think that.
Have a better centre midfielder than Ethan Erraham?
Tell you what, we'll go for a Bristol Rovers squad, because we're gonna settle this.
Okay.
We're gonna go through the last starting 11 for both teams.
Okay. Right. I mean, come on. We ain't got a striker.
Goalkeeper.
Lucas Jensen's a better keeper than Cox. He's kept more clean sheets.
Right, Vale.
Jensen's kept 8 clean sheets.
Right, left back, Harvey Vale.
I'll give him left back.
Okay.
Right wing back, I'm not moving. Centre halves, go for it.
I'll give you a lass.
Connor Taylor's a very good centre back.
Connor Taylor gets in.
I think Alex Mitchell gets in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think TJ Omer gets in as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I think Evans has to go in for me.
I think Erraham. Or Hamilton. I think Hamilton would get in Bristol Rovers team.
Anthony Evans has to go in for me.
Yeah, but I think Ethan Hamilton would get in their team as well.
Yeah, I've just said that. Hamilton, Erraham, and Evans.
Yeah, as a 3.
Front 2.
Well, we've got McCarmer.
Tell you what, though, the issue is that's their weakest point there. John Marquis.
We've got McCarmer.
John Marquis and Chris Martin.
Hey?
So front 2.
And how many blinking players were in that team?
5.
Yeah. No, there wasn't. There was more
there
than
was.
That. No, there wasn't.
Marquis,
Jensen, Sorensen,
Marquis, Martin, Evans, Taylor. No. Yeah, there is 5.
Yeah, there's more Lincoln players.
It's close, mate. You don't walk over Bristol Rovers, not a chance.
We went to the Mem this season.
Varney Brown as well, by the way. You missed.
We went to the Mem this season with a very depleted squad and still got a point and probably should have won. Says it all.
You're just a very proud Lincoln fan, aren't you? Like, there you are. I was saying, I think Shrewsbury could go down with a big drop off 100%. Wycombe are struggling, aren't they?
Tony's got a great point.
Go on, Wycombe. Do you think Wycombe are in trouble?
Yes, I do. Yeah, massively. They're just not performing at all, and the new style of play is not working for them at all. And
2 games against Fleetwood and Exeter at home. If we 100%, but you've got to play those games of football. But the issue is, Bristol Rovers are like us last season. There's 3 or 4 teams, the Lincolns, the Charltons, the Leyton Orients. Bristol Rovers are a good side, and there's always that hope when you're mid-table that you can burst in because there's normally a team that does it. But I just don't. I think you're gonna have to go and win 6 or 7 in a row to be within contention. Like Derby have gone and done it because Derby were out of it for a bit. To be fair, you're gonna have to go 2 points per game to get in to the end, which isn't difficult. Well, it is difficult. You're gonna have to make it look easy, but it's basically win 1, draw 1, and not go. You're gonna have to go on a 10-game unbeaten run, something like that, just to kind of make a claim to get into the playoffs. Because let's be honest, if you're saying Bristol Rovers can get in, Charlton can get in, Lincoln can get in, Leyton Orient can get in, Blackpool can get in. There's probably our top 7, 6 teams fighting for basically 7 positions, and then there's probably that last place at the moment. There's probably another 5 or 6. I kind of going back to the table. Make sure I get the right one this time. Take the comment off. I kind of think up to Charlton, there's a team fighting for everything. I think Northampton, I think they'll stay in League One next season. I think they'll only need another 13 or 14 points, which they've gone and got in the last few weeks anyway. I see it as the top 8 upwards. I think Bristol Rovers, Charlton, Lincoln will have a flutter. I think Northampton have had a good season. They're not going to get to the playoffs, with all due respect. And again, I hate saying that.
Depends, doesn't it? Because January.
I said this about Shrewsbury. They're there, and you've got to have a conversation, but I just don't think they will. And people won't like that. And then at the bottom, I think Leyton Orient are going to be safe. I think Cambridge. You always worry after managers. This is a honeymoon period potentially, but I think they'll be okay. I think Shrewsbury, the lack of goals is worrying, and the amount of goals you conceded, the worst goal difference. I think Port Vale are not out of it yet either. I think Wycombe are banging trouble. Again, the squad looks very unmatched, and it doesn't look good in different ways. It looks a little bit for Wycombe to concede 31 goals is not Wycombe like at all. Burton, I think, is still in trouble. I think Wigan will be able to climb out of it, but 3 defeats in a row, and they're very patchy. Exeter, Reading, Cheltenham. He's going to go down to the wire. And I'm making my League One predictions in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be so hard to make.
I would wait till after the January window, mate.
That's what I'm doing.
I imagine quite a lot will.
We've got
will
me
change.
and you have got a video coming, haven't we? Where we're going to chat about January, and
we are.
Hopefully that'll, be a bit more positive. Nothing. Do you think positive? No, they might drop off in terms of points. I think they're on for 98 points, aren't they? Which they've just upped under the 100. They're on for 105 at one point, which you can still get back to, but I don't think they'll go and lose 2 in 23 like they've done this time around. I reckon Portsmouth will get around about 94 points, which is a drop off, but it's not a drop off because I'm saying they're going to get 45 points in the next 23, which is still 2 points per game, but it's not as the standards that they've set previously.
Yes, yeah, it's good, mate, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think Bristol, from what what's his name says, Dan Hargreaves says, they're not going back in for him, are they? I think they'd be stupid to, because I don't think like Harris suits.
He's a different manager now. Everything's changed.
Yeah. Under Barton, I'd say it would work, but under thing,
he likes big hitters, and he. By the way, Barton tried to sign Clark Harris at Fleetwood. By the way, nearly did and didn't. We signed who did we sign instead? I think we signed Isaac Thorvaldsen instead on loan from Norwich, who's now playing in the 2nd division in Iceland. Great signing. Played 2 games. Are you surprised by Charlton? In a way, when you sack a manager after 5 games, new ownerships come in, injuries galore, it is a little bit messy. Charlton are a one-man team outfit, mate. I think that's harsh. I think Blackett Taylor, 6 goals, 7 assists. I think he deserves a lot more credit than he gets. Wouldn't want JCR under Matt Taylor. I think Shrewsbury will be signing a striker. Wonder where from. Again, Jake, any final words, mate?
No, just just glad I've rattled some Bristol Rovers fans, which is nice. Don't normally, to be fair, we normally go for a team in blue and white, don't we? We had Ipswich and we had Wednesday.
No, you do. I don't. you went for Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday. You've had Derby all season. I don't know
Bristol
what it is.
Rovers
You've always got to go for a bye, haven't you?
Hey, yeah. Well, look, you look up, mate, and half the fan base has started nibbling tonight, so it's been fun. But no, I appreciate it. It's been it's been good fun, mate. I am looking forward to 2 tough games we've got now. We've got Northampton at home tomorrow night, which will be a tough test, but one I think we can win. And then we've got Blackpool away on New Year's Day, which is going to be a tough game. But we beat them 3-0 at the start of the season, so
Did you?
We did,
You
mate.
mentioned
Yeah,
that.
we had a striker though at that point, but yeah,
2 strikers.
It's going to be extremely tough. Yeah, looking forward to it. 2 tough games, and then we got the window, and I cannot wait for January, mate. Cannot wait.
Me too. But please like as you are leaving. Subscribe. So close to 12,500. All likes are appreciated, and a big over and out. We'll have Bolton vlog tomorrow. We're back here Saturday for another League One live. We're giving Jake the weekend off. It's a bit like Jeff Stelling. He's getting a bit older now. We need to rest him and keep him.
25.
I think you are a little bit old, mate. You're getting past your peak, and we'll be joined by Tom. But Jake will be back next week, so I understand if views drop again after the weekend as well. Bristol Rovers fans, they're not coming back, are they? Thank you so much for watching, and big over and out with a Bolton vlog tomorrow. League One live Saturday, Shrewsbury on Monday, and League One live Wednesday. It's a busy week, busy end to the year. Come on, the Cods. Come on, the League One. Come on.
Bristol are rattled.
They are the views of Jake Tong, not those of Cods Vlogs.